Welcome. In this video, we're going to look at some more multi-step inequalities and practice our inequality graphing. So before we get started, let's just remind ourselves about our graphing, that if we have a greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, we're including that value. So we're going to fill in, pen is awful for this, fill in our dots to show those values are included. Whereas if we have less than or greater than, we have open circles to show that those points are not included in our solution. We're going to go right up to it, but not include it. Okay. Also keep in mind when solving inequalities, if we multiply or divide by a negative, we have to flip the sign. Okay. So keeping those two things in mind, let's start looking at graphing some or solving and graphing some inequalities. So here we have a bunch of fractions. Let's think back to what we did with equations. If we have a bunch of fractions, we said let's get rid of them. So if we look at our denominators, 4, 4, 2, our least common denominator, what they all go into evenly. Well, 2 goes into 4, so 4 is going to be our least common denominator. So we're going to multiply both sides of our equation inequality by 4 to clear those fractions. Okay, we're multiplying, so I'm going to think back here. Do I need to flip my sign? We're multiplying by positive 4. Don't need to flip the sign. Half of 4 is 2. It's less than or equal to. Here my 4's divide out, so we just get x. Here my 4's divide out, minus 3. Much simpler problem to solve. Add 3 to both sides. We get 5 is less than or equal to x. Let's take a look at graphing this. First task, we need to put some values on our number line. We know we need to get up to 5. So you can always start with your 5 if you want to. And then put some other values on there as well so you know what's happening around our number. So at 5, we have this or equal to, which means we are going to have a closed circle at 5, right? It can equal 5. That's included in our solutions. And then how does your variable relate to 5? Your variable is the larger thing. So where are larger numbers on your number line? They are over here to the right. So all of those values over there are solutions to this inequality. 10, 300, 6, 5.1, 5, any number to the right of 5 on our number line is a solution. Okay, let's try one more here. This one's a little more complex. We got a lot of things going on. So we have some things on each side. So let's start by simplifying. Distribute your 5 here. We get 5n minus 10 is less than, distribute your 4, 8n plus 24 plus 2. Okay, we can combine like terms there. So we get 5n minus 10 is less than 8n plus 26. I'm just going to move over here so I have a little more space. 5n minus 10 is less than 8n plus 26. Okay, let's try this one. Say you didn't think about your variables and you subtracted 8n. Okay, completely okay. Normally, I would probably subtract 5n just to keep my variable positive. But if you didn't, 5n minus 8n is negative 3n. We're left with 26 on the right there. Okay, still working on getting that n by itself. I have negative 3n is less than 36. And divide by negative 3. Ooh, we divided by negative. Right, we're always looking at what are we dividing by. The thing we're doing to both sides, is that a negative? If it is, flip your sign. So now we have n is greater than negative 36 is 12. Okay, so now graphing this, we want negative 12 on our graph. So put negative 12 on your graph somewhere, it doesn't matter where. Negative 10, negative 8, negative 6. Negatives always take up a little more space. Make sure you have numbers to the left, numbers to the right to show where you're on at the number line. You shouldn't just have a negative 12 floating out there in the middle of nowhere. Show you know where you're at. It's only greater than, so negative 12 is not a solution. So we just want to go up to it, but not include it. So we're going to have that open circle there. And then our variable is larger than -12. So we're going to go all of the values that are larger on my number line, which are those values to the right. If you're not sure, think about where a really big number is. 400. Oh, that's way over here somewhere. I want to go towards that big number. Okay, that's all we're looking at today. Just some practice with our multi-step inequalities. Thanks for watching.